is my first time.
You're cute.
I'm sorry.
All right. I figure we can start stream and I'll say what's up to everybody. 2 days in a row doing art. Damn right. We're going to jump straight back into this Willy Wonka piece today. The only thing I forgot to do was turn the lights on. I got it all set up beforehand. Just need to get the lights on. what is happening? Now's a good little time to take a break, talk a little bit about what we're doing, where we're going with this piece. The purple suit's almost done. I'm glad we're liking the music today too. That's good news. Sound guy got it all set up for us today. Hell yeah, sound guy. Yeah, so basically what I'm doing right now, or going, I guess we'll start with yesterday, right? We got the dark outline in yesterday, and that is actually still wet today too, right? That paint is still wet on here, so it's still, I can move it around a little bit if I want. It blends in with the other colors that I'm using. And then second, I laid down some purple, red, and white yesterday to get some of those darker spots in. And then today, I have white pretty much everywhere, right? There's white all over the sleeves in here right now. So I'm just going through with purple and mixing it slowly with the palette knife until it gets to where I want to be. I have some really harsh, like, purple lines in there, because that's where the suit is going to kind of, you know, crimp and fold and do all those little things. So we'll smooth those up over time, but that's exactly why we did the sketch as well. That's why I did the sketch in pencil, and then I carried it over to oil with this brush, because that sketch was important. So still keeping those little lines in mind as I go through, and I'm trying to mix basically like all of the like the base parts first, and then from there, after we kind of get the base parts done, that's when we move on to those darker, like, purple lines. Now the sleeves down here, I have a lot of, like, kind of cut up lines through here, but probably a few too many, to be honest. So the sleeves down here probably go a little bit quicker. There is a little bit of the sleeve, like, underneath the piece as well that you guys can't see, but this piece is just, it's just that fucking big. Like, there's no there's no great way to stream this. So the little bit underneath, like, his, you know, under here, there is another, maybe, like, how much of that canvas is there that you guys can't see? Now that I'm really looking at it, like, probably 4 inches of canvas at the bottom that you guys can't see down there, right? So I'll be painting that now too. I'm not gonna flip it upside down right now, I don't think, because I don't want to. It's in a good spot, and I don't think you guys, if I flip it upside down, it'll still be off on the upper edge too, because up above his head there's another 4 inches of canvas that you can't see. There's some white space up there too. So we're gonna get back to it with this purple though, and just keep mixing it in. Time to get these sleeves cranking, so let's do it. Sorry, I'm back. We had to get a yellow paint. I had to go dig one up. I didn't have one out yet. Because I decided not quite done painting today. So we're gonna do some yellow. We're gonna do the shirt area in here. There's like a little spot or two up by the neck, right above there, and then we have down in between or underneath the bow tie, and then a little bit underneath the hands as well. He's got this. I actually really like the vest. Sometimes when I paint people, I decide to like change their clothes or the design or the words on the shirt or whatever it is, just to make it more fun for me or more interesting. But I actually really love this vest that he has on. It's a floral vest, and it's got these little like yellow, pink, and purple flowers on it, and it looks like something I would paint in watercolor, honestly. So that's why I like it so much. We just have to I'm trying to straighten out this tube a little bit, because I'm gonna basically what I'm gonna do is throw all white down on that vest, pretty much everywhere, like really heavy white, and then I'm just gonna go over it with a tiny bit of yellow and mix a little bit of yellow in over it. In a few spots I might put the yellow a little bit more concentrated because I know that there will be an actual yellow flower there, but yeah, outside of that, it's just, that's it. Okay, there's a hole in this tube of paint. Fuck me. No way. No way. Oh, I fucking see it. I was like, I have yellow paint all the fuck over my hands right now, and I haven't touched this shit yet. How did that happen? Wait a second. Wait a fucking... Oh, it's all over this now, both hands. Fuck. Oh. This always fucking happens when I oil paint, dude. I was doing so good. Fucking... I got through this whole thing with, like, fucking no purple on me, man. And I'm fucking... Okay, I, like, can't touch my face or anything else in the room again. Fuck it. There's a tiny little hole in the tube of the paint right there. That's super evil. It's like it got creased and folded over a little bit too hard right there. Happens. Okay, I gotta think about how am I gonna do this? Like, what are we gonna do here? Because I can't just squeeze this tube of paint. It's gonna come out of both ends here. I don't know. You know what? I may not need to open it. I may be able to use the little hole there. Smart Brother, what's up? Sammy, what's up? I hope you guys are having a good day, man. We're gonna roll back over and get back to it. Get this white and yellow down.
to your fantasy. And on the count of run back to your fantasy. And on the count of three, everybody run back to your fantasy. And on the count of three, everybody run back to your fantasy. And on the count of three, everybody run back to your fantasy. And on the count of three, everybody
Let me cook, though. Let me cook. Okay, that's a good spot for a break. GC Hernan, welcome to chat. Big question: what brand paint do I prefer? Man, it really depends on what I'm using. So I paint with oils and watercolors primarily, and then I do a bunch of digital work. So with watercolors, it's normally Holbein and Daniel Smith. Those are the two that I like. In oils, normally Winton and Williamsburg. Those ones seem to be a little like heavier and thicker, and they're good for the way that I paint. I think I gotta think here, but I think that Williamsburg, I'm 99% sure that Williamsburg is owned or is part of the same company as Golden Acrylics. So if you've used Golden, like most people that use acrylics either use Golden or Liquitex. Pretty sure that Golden Acrylics and Williamsburg oils are the same thing. But Winton Oils is from Winsor and Newton. That's the brand. And they make fantastic everything in the art world. Brushes, paint, like watercolor paint, acrylic paint, oil paint. I believe they even make like some blocks and things like that. Winsor and Newton they have some of the cool like odds and ends stuff. But yeah, for this painting here, I am using Winton, so the Winsor and Newton oils, and Williamsburg, and I am using Gamblin as well. Gamblin is see, I'm a color freak, right? So basically, like whichever like art company has the right color for the painting that I need, I'll use it. So Gamblin is a company, this one right here, they make some really cool and like some really off the wall colors. They use the black that I use for the outline here, which is chromatic black. It's not straight black. It's got a few different colors mixed in so that, you know, when you actually do blend it with other colors, it's not blending that color with pure straight black and just dominating it, right? They also, Gamblin does one of my favorite things in the art world. I don't know if any other company does this. I've never heard of any other company doing this. But they make a paint. I think they make it once a year, and it's called, oh my god, what is it called? It's like a special gray. Why can I not think of this? I have one. Let me go grab one real fast. Okay, I'm pulling out the super nerd thing here. This is a box of their paint, actually straight from them. Of Torrid Gray. That's what the color's called. They make it once a year, and it comes in these little packs, right? You swing it open, and there's 3 of them in there. This is how they like send it to the local art stores and stuff, right? This gray, the way that they make it, is one of the coolest things that I've ever, like I said, one of the coolest things that I've ever heard of in the art world. I don't know anybody else that does it. Maybe they do, but Gamblin is the one that advertises this Torrid Gray. And Torrid Gray is a really cool color because what they do is they make like different oil paints all year. right? And they have these big ass like filters that collect, or that, you know, kind of sift through different pigments, and over time, you know, it builds up, right? So when they go to clean all of that pigment out, it's a bunch of different colors. And they decide, instead of just throwing it away, to mix it up in a vat and make an oil paint out of it, because it's all really good pigment, all the high quality pigment they always use, so why not use it? And so they have a toric gray every year, and the gray it's obviously different every year, right? It's a slightly different shade of gray every single time they make it, but it's like a really cool thing, I think, for a paint color, right? So GC, you just started trying to oil paint yourself. Never done it before, but you've enjoyed it so far. Any tips I might have would be welcome. Probably, okay, the number one thing if you just started out is have fun with it, right? Like there's a lot. Oil painting is one of those things that can get really technical. Like there's a lot of people that get super into like, oh, you should never mix this color and this color because it's like wrong, right? There's people that like have oil paint and pigment like down to a chemical science, literally, because that's what it is, right? So there's people that are really snobby, right? Like I know about all that and I break all those rules because like fuck it, it's cool when colors mix. That, like, who gives a damn, right? Like you can't tell me what colors to mix or not. But man, just have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like experiment. When I paint with oils, I don't even use brushes, right? Like I use a palette knife. I use specifically this palette knife to do a lot of my work, right? I love that, like the thickness and the blends that oil paint have. So I love mixing it right on the canvas and kind of leaving some of those blends and those colors for people to see, right? I don't know if I can like block this so you can see. There is kind of a shine to some of the color here right now because it's wet oil paint, right? But yeah, man, just have fun with it. Stay away from, there's like some really harsh chemicals in oil painting, right? Like turpentine and stuff like that some people will be like, oh yeah, you need this to like rinse all the oil paint off of your brushes. Like just soap and water that shit, man. Like Dawn dish soap and will do wonders for you no matter what you're painting with in the art world. Just get it off before it dries and you're good. There's no need for the super harsh chemicals. That would probably be the one serious thing that I had to say, is try to stay away from that junk if you can, because it's just not good to breathe in. But yeah, there's so many ways to use oil paint. I love oil, so I think it's like the best medium. I personally used to work at an art store, and part of what we did there is we restored artworks. So I saw oil paintings that were, 300 to 400 years old quite frequently. And I got to, repair them, fix them up, clean them, send them back to people. Sometimes just, like reframe them or whatever, right? Whatever people wanted. Probably the craziest one was like a fire damaged one, right? Like that was actually like a big repair. But for the most part, it's normally just cleaning them up, revarnishing them, and sending them back to somebody. And that was really cool for me to experience, like, sort of on the service side of the art world, right? Like, so, yeah, like, I love oil painting for that, because it'll last lifetimes, multiple. I guess, let's see, what's like, yeah, art restoration is really cool. It is really cool. Like, so it's some of it can be nerve-wracking, right? Because like stuff can be really brittle and really dry and like old, right? But it's definitely a fun thing. Okay, here's another, actually one more one more really, really serious thing. If you're just starting oil painting, okay? Whether you, this is not as big of a deal with acrylic paintings, okay? But with oil paintings, it is a very big deal. And I see so many artists completely fuck their works with this, right? Really important, actually. When you are done painting, right? When it's all done and it's dried and it's finished, you can varnish a painting, right? Or not. You don't have to varnish it, but varnishing is, depending on the painting, it's something that I recommend, right? Because it's going to protect it long term. And long term meaning like beyond your lifetime, right? Now, there's a few different types of varnishes, right? There's varnish for oil painting and there's varnish for acrylic painting. A lot of people that do acrylic varnishes will like do a spray varnish, right? But a lot of people with oil painting still brush on their varnish. There's clear varnish and matte varnish, so you can get like a shiny finish or a nice, matte flat or like satin finish, kind of whatever you want, right? Good choices. And it just adds basically like a thin layer of varnish on top of the paint, right? What that does is years later, somebody like me or that works at an art, store that really knows what they're doing, they can remove that varnish, right? Because painting, like, stuff will get yellow and dirty over time, right? So you remove the varnish and the original painting is still there in perfect condition, right? You clean it up, remove the varnish, and then you re-varnish it, right? Giving it a new clear coat, basically, and protecting it for the next 60 years, 80 years, 200 years, whatever it is, right? People that live in homes with cigarette smoke, art and glass yellows there very quickly, right? So that's where, like, you might actually want to get a painting revarnished every 40 or 60 years, right? If it's in like a smoker's house, just to keep it looking nice. But when you go to varnish your painting, it's very important that you dip a brush in varnish and then brush it over your painting, right? Do not ever, never, ever, this is like the number one cardinal sin in the art world, is when you're finished with your painting, you go and pour liquid varnish on top of a painting. Never, ever do that, okay? People started doing that because of social media, right? You have your painting down, you're taking a video of it, and you pour the varnish on there, and the spot where the varnish lands lights up, right? It looks really good when that clear coat material hits it, and then you brush it out and the whole thing looks really nice, right? Awesome video content. Horrid for the artwork, though. Because where you pour the varnish, it's going to be super concentrated right there. Even if you just pour it and it sits there for half a second before you brush it out, right? There is no human way to get that varnish spread evenly after you pour it like that. And it's going to, like, basically what it does is over time, in the spot where you poured, there's this really thick, almost impenetrable, like, protective layer of varnish, right? Depending on what varnish you use, it can actually eat at the paint and through the paint, through the canvas, all that kind of stuff, right? Or the other, like, the flip side of it, right, is where you poured it initially, that part of the painting will be hyper protected, where the rest of it, where you brushed it out to, kind of thin it out, that will age and get, kind of destroyed or weathered quicker, right? So then again, over time, it's just like, it's impossible to keep that painting in a perfect condition, right? Because when you go to clean it or strip that varnish away, nightmare. No good way to do it then. Whereas if you just brush on a layer, right? Dip your brush in, maybe knock off the excess and then just brush it over the whole thing, you'll have that nice even layer of just something that's brushed. Super easy to get that varnish off of the painting, clean it, do everything you need to do. So that would be my one piece of advice. But here's the other thing that a bunch of art people won't tell you. You don't have to varnish your paintings. You can just like leave them open to the air and take decent care of them, right? Like maybe dust it off every once in a while, right? Stuff like that. Paintings hold up really well when you take care of them. So yeah, that would be my I guess my 2 tips there to start. Have fun with it, right? Like don't take it too serious, but then don't pour varnish on your painting when you're done, because that actually ruins it to a sort of degree, right? Yo, I'm liking how Willy Wonka's looking here though. I feel like we made some really solid progress today. Yeah, of course, GC. Hey, another piece of advice, hit the follow button while you're here on my Twitch channel so you can find us again. Okay, so this is actually a good this is a good question. You're still working on your first piece. Is buying an actual canvas worth it over buying a cheaper panel? You bought a 3-pack of panels, but you think the canvas looks nicer. This is honestly 100% up to you. Thanks for the follow, by the way, GC. But yeah, this is 100% up to you and kind of your preference. I'm painting on a canvas right here, right? This is a stretched canvas. You know, it's like this thick on the edge, right? Wrapped around the wood and all that stuff. I actually don't like painting like this with oils because I don't use brushes. I use the palette knife. Right? So there's always a slim chance that while I'm painting a canvas like this using a palette knife, I stick this metal palette knife through the canvas and rip it. Right? It's really hard to do that with a brush. Like, you gotta really stab it through there. This is a metal, like, knife, though, right? Like, that edge is real thick. This can go straight through that canvas with ease. Can't really stick this through one of those panel boards, though. You know what I mean? So it's like, when I'm doing art like that, it actually, to me, sort of makes sense to have those panels. But man, I do both. I'm looking around my room. The oil painting up there on the wall, that's a canvas. There's an astronaut piece behind this that I'll go grab real quick. But yeah, this one right here is on a panel, right? Winsor & Newton. I was just talking about using their oil paint, actually. So yeah, they make boards. I love these boards. Winsor & Newton canvas boards, super awesome. And they have panels like this that are wood. They have them where it's this is a canvas one, right? But I know they have them in wood. They have them in all sorts of stuff. So yeah, a lot of that's preference, GC, to be honest. A lot of that would just be preference. There are materials, right? Like, you don't want to oil paint on like plywood, right? Because plywood is like gonna chip and break up over time, right? Like, that's not a what do you call it? An archival material. Right? So if you want your painting to last long, yeah, paint on something that's archival. There's plenty of like prepared wood surfaces that are archival for oil painting, and then obviously tons of canvas, whether it's stretched or on a board. Totally up to you, man. Yeah, and I guess it really depends on kind of like how you want to paint and kind of your style, right? Because I use palette knives, so I actually think it kind of makes sense to have a board, right? Because this is solid. It's not gonna like roll up or flex or anything like that. And it's also, I don't feel bad about handling this, right? Like, because it's solid. Whereas if this was a canvas, right, I'd be like holding it on the edges so I don't like touch the back, right, and like stretch it more than it is or anything like that. So, yeah, totally preference on that one though. There's probably a bunch of artists out there that would tell you, well, one of two things. Either one, it doesn't matter, which is a lie, right? Because again, you don't want to be painting on like plywood or something like that that's going to chip off and break. And then there's another group of artists that would tell you like, oh, paint on canvas only, right? Like that's the only way to like that, you know, like super purist people. But the reality of it is companies like Winsor Newton and Ampersand, let me put that in chat. Ampersand is a company that makes art boards. And they're like really high quality. They have like clay boards. They have like illustration boards, right? They have all sorts of really cool things. They have like aqua boards where it's like watercolor paper on those board, right? Like they kind of do it all, but it's all made like archival and with nice materials. So you know it's good, right? Yeah, Blix is a good art store, GC. I will always say this. If you can find a local mom and pop art store, support them first. Because they will be able to get you things that Blick cannot, right? But Blix is the best like national or chain art store that I know of, hands down, right? A lot of the stores like Michael's and Joann's, they're really more of like craft stores, and every once in a while they'll have some like kind of fine art or like high quality art supplies. But Blix, you can pretty much trust when you go into Blix anywhere, you'll be able to find really nice art materials for pretty much whatever you want to do, I think. Whether it's, yeah, watercolor, acrylic, oil, kind of no matter what canvas or paper you need, like Blix should pretty much have it, man. Okay, we put like 2 hours into this painting today. It's a pretty good day 2. I think man, I'm fighting with like, do I want to let this dry or like keep rolling right now? I'm not really sure yet. Do I sketch the painting out first or just dive in? Oh, that for me totally depends on the piece. Totally depends on the piece. This one, this piece, I sketched it out more than like probably anything I ever have. I oversketched, right? Like I put extra lines in that I knew I wouldn't paint in, but that I still wanted to see in my head and stuff like that, right? So, yeah, I think it kind of depends on what my subject is, right? There is one thing that's true though when it comes to art, right? If you're not gonna sketch something, right, or if you're not gonna have a reference when you paint, you're gonna be making things up in your head, right? Some people really good at making things up. Other people suck at making things up, right? And with better experience comes you get better at making stuff up. Like hands is a good example, right? Like you see AI artwork today where like, you know, you're like, oh, like two people high-fiving, and there's like two people are high-fiving, but there's like 17 fingers up here, right? And you're like, how the fuck does that happen? It's, you know, the AI doesn't have the knowledge, so it's making it up, right? To some degree, like you will do that too, right? If you don't sketch it out or if you don't have a reference. But I mean, dude, like imagine telling, like, I don't know, like pick an artist that you like, right? Like pick a famous artist, right? Some of them sketched stuff out, some of them didn't, right? This painting I actually sketched with pencil first and then sketched with oil on top of it, right? So like this is actually, it's an oil painting sort of sketch, right? That way I sort of have that there as a base too. But yeah, smart brother, I hate hands too. That was a big reason why I actually did the outline in oil with this painting, right? Because when I drew it with pencil, I was like, okay, I can get up here and paint Willy Wonka, right? Like no problem. Purple hat, purple jacket, bow tie, and then we gotta just look up a reference of Gene Wilder's face, because I love Gene Wilder. He's my Willy Wonka, 100%, right? Love Johnny Depp too, but Gene Wilder was the Willy Wonka I grew up with. So, but yeah, I was sitting there even thinking about that, and it was like, oh, you know, I even thought about cutting this picture off like here, just because the hands are there, right? But then I was like, no, one of the most iconic parts of Willy Wonka to me was when he first walks out of the factory in that movie, right? And he has his cane and he comes limping out, right? He limps out to the gate and then he like falls and rolls and then jumps up and he's like, what's happening, bitches? Right? Like that peak Willy Wonka right there. The fake limp to the roll to the jumping up to being like, what's happening? Love it. So I was like, I gotta have the cane in there, right? The fingers, all that, you know, his hands obviously. So I sketched this one out, and yeah, dude, hands suck. Hands suck. It's the toughest part, man. Hands, I think, is one of the things that probably when I started streaming on Twitch years ago, I was bad at them. Like objectively bad at them. Now I'm good at painting hands. I can do it. A big part of that for me, actually, I can say, was watching other people stream artwork. And like watching people's, you know, YouTube videos or their Instagram videos, whatever it is, and just seeing how they did. Like, really, hands aren't hard at all, right? Like, a hand is just like a square or a circle. It's fingers, more specifically, that are really hard, right? Like, that's the part of hands that people struggle with. When people say, I hate drawing hands, like Smart Brother just did, or if they say, yeah, drawing hands is difficult, what they really mean is drawing fingers. That's what that actually means. And once you figure that out, it's a lot easier to get better at it. I'm telling you. Once you realize it's fingers that are hard to draw and not actually the whole hand, it's way easier to break it down. It's also like you have to realize that people, like humans, can really orient themselves in weird ways too, smart brother, right? Like when I'm doing this, right? When I just stretched, like depending on which way you're looking at my arm, right? Like this is cool, makes sense, right? My arm looks like the fucking 4 feet long that it is, right? But if I angle it back, right, and like curl my wrist back, all of a sudden I have no hand, right? And like if you're drawing me about to like throw something out this way, right, you have to make that up, right? You can't paint this because it's lazy and it looks like a lump and I'm an amputee, right? But really my whole hand, like you have to figure out, and it's the fingers, right? It's the curves in the fingers. And the trick that I learned with drawing hands and fingers is you draw the tips of the fingers where you need them first, right? So if you're gonna draw my fingers, right, like holding this, you start with the tips of all of my fingers, right? Start with my thumb, right? Put that in, then my middle finger, right? And then my pointer finger. And then these 2 fingers down here, find the tips of them and put little circles in there for them, right? And then from there, connect it to that rectangle of the hand, right? And find little curves and like you gotta make it up, and it doesn't make sense, right? Like if you try to trace a hand, like if I hold my hand like that and you try to trace it, it really won't look right. Right? If you like follow the lines exactly, even that won't look right. Because fingers are fucking weird, dog. Yeah, practice, GC. It's I think I grew up and I got into art because of comics. I think if you want to get good at hands, like go look at some anime artists or like some manga artists, because they're fucking the best in the world at doing hands. You know what I mean? Can't beat that. But yeah, GC, thanks for stopping by, man. Good to see some new faces in the art world. We love it. And good luck on your art journey too. Smart brother, how we doing, bro? What's happening? D-Rain's out there too. I don't know if y'all knew that. They gave me a list of which moderators are online. Oh, that's fire. Chilling, huh? You gaming today, smart brother? You gaming today, bro? Oh, okay. You'll be on after some bowling. That's what's up. That's what's up. 8 my time. Oh yeah, that's normally a pretty good time, bro. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna stop stream for now. Appreciate everybody rocking with us today. Getting back in the groove with some art streams. I don't know when I'll be back with another session on this guy. Maybe tomorrow, but what is tomorrow? Oh no, tomorrow's Friday. So tomorrow we have a gaming stream to get to. hold on. Hold on. Tomorrow's Friday. We got some Friday night gaming to do tomorrow. So yeah, probably this weekend. Saturday or Sunday. I don't know which day. We'll get one. But yeah, gaming stream tomorrow. The snipers are still out there, so we're good. We definitely gotta get some warm-ups in though tonight though, smart brother, because we can't go out like we did last week on stream. We gotta get them this time. Especially if those balloons are there, bro. But alright, I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy yourselves. We'll be back. Hey, we're gonna paint this whole piece on stream, so not going anywhere with it. Peace.